This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. Several years ago, I was dealing with a case of the blues during the holidays, and therapy was a bright spot amid all the stress and anxiety. Something to look forward to help me feel grounded, to provide me with the tools I needed to manage everything that was going on.
And if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's completely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you got to do to get started is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched up with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
So find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Yeah, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw. In today's episode, we're going to be answering a lot of your questions. Also, we've got plenty of news to cover, including the latest on where WWE, what are they, is a Raw that still needs a home, a television home.
Raw. Yeah, NXT has a home. So it's just Raw.
NXT has a home on the CW app. Wait, no, it's NWA, sorry. And then, whatchamacallit, SmackDown's got a home. So we're going to find out what the latest on Raw is. Also, oh, man, Ric Flair writing, I don't even know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to write like a tweet that has all, like, the first letter is capitalized on everything.
No.
It's a very unique
you just have to go
style.
and individually capitalize each word, beginning of each word. Everything's a proper
there's
noun.
A thing like on like Docs, on like Google Docs, where you can do that.
Really? You like every word a proper noun?
Yeah, we're gonna find out if Ric Flair,
Even
if the
first?
proper noun Ric Flair is gonna be leaving AEW. Also, we've got a couple of Punk dailies, which is always very, very exciting. So we might as well go ahead and kick it off. This might end up being the most annoying segment for you because you're going to get a lot of my Steve Austin impression. And of course, we're going to kick things off with the greatest segment theme song in Going In Raw history.
Song
Punk
is good.
Daily. Here we go. We've got more Punk Daily news today. Right now, we've got more Punk Daily news with Steve Austin. What? Yeah.
All right, so Steve,
Yeah.
looks like we're not going to have to get a time ship.
Time
Say it
ship.
like Stone Cold, please, because CM Punk versus Stone Cold could become a reality without time travel in the near future. A recent report from Fightful Select is to be believed. The outlet is reporting that now that Punk is back in WWE, there are some within the company that are pushing to make the long-time dream match happen, and that Punk and WWE apparently already had discussions about the possibility of said dream match. Fightful adds that there were some in the company who were, quote, hopeful and even optimistic the match could finally be put together. One source of the company indicated that many ideas have already been floated between CM Punk and WWE. This would seem to be a scenario where it's completely up to Steve Austin as to whether this happens or not. I would guess.
Yeah. Hopeful. There's some in the company who are hopeful and even optimistic that the match could finally be put together. I'm not inside the company. I'm not anywhere close to being inside the company. We're on the completely different coast. But I'm pessimistic. I would love, I think I would love to see it happen, because we can talk about that really quick in terms of, is this something that you and I want to see? I'll be honest with you. I appreciated that Stone Cold came out of retirement for whatever that thing was with Kevin Owens, and then
Well, it ended up being a match. There was a finish. There was a pinfall counted. It was a match.
I didn't like that it was so ambiguous leading into it. Like, oh, it's going to be an encounter. It's going to be, a talk or whatever.
Part of that was, Stone Cold had been reticent for years about getting back in the ring because it was a situation where he didn't want to do it if he couldn't put on a match commensurate with the quality of match they used to do. And so maybe the whole time leading up to it, he was hedging his bets. Like, I don't want to say that we're going to have a match, and then I don't feel like I'm in a position that can put on a good enough match. So let's just call it, and the company decided, let's just call it an encounter. So that if you get there the day of or the day before, you work things out, both you and Kevin Owens feel comfortable proceeding with this as an actual match with a winner and a pinfall, then do so. Otherwise, just a brawl to end the show. Stone Cold, you're going to be on the show doling out stunners, so people are going to be happy. You know?
No, I get all that. I know.
I
He doesn't
understand.
want to ruin
It's
his
not the most
legacy.
captivating thing in terms of the build, but given the situation, I don't know what else they could really do.
Give him an extra $1 million and say, can we just call it a damn match? Let's fast forward to Punk versus Austin. Look, Punk can still go, right? He can still wrestle. Like that Wembley match a couple months ago with him and Samoa Joe, phenomenal stuff. You know,
the matches he had with MJF were all really good.
Right. Everything.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, can he, I mean, he's definitely on par with the Kevin Owens in terms of, okay, can they do a good match? If they do this, I don't want it to be some weird ambiguous, oh, it's going to be like, if you're going to do it, make it a match. It's going to be a match. And yeah, that's absolutely 1,000% like a Mania Night 1 closer. And I guess I'd be fine with it.
So what you're saying is that we do need a time ship to a point in time where Stone Cold would be confident enough to do this and call it a match.
I mean,
the
ideally,
time ship is still necessary.
The time ship, and then also a Gray Sports Almanac. That would really be my priorities. But yeah, if we want to start booking matches, also yes. But I don't know. Are you interested in this particular match as opposed to Rollins versus Punk?
Here's one advantage of doing Punk versus Stone Cold. I mean, I was with you. I was lukewarm on the build to Stone Cold, Kevin Owens. If it wasn't going to be a match, then just say it's not going to be a match. If it's going to be in a match, call it a match. I get that, you know, and it didn't help in terms of building up anticipation for it. It delivered. It over-delivered, I thought, in the end.
Sure, yeah. No, in the end, it was very, yeah.
But one reason I think it ended up really working is because it kind of existed outside of everything else that was going on storyline-wise in WWE.
Yeah, sure.
And so if, you know, we hear, we're getting more on this later, they want to do Punk Rollins, they might want to do Punk Reigns at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if it's a situation now where they want to see how this return of Punk goes in WWE for a little bit without getting him too enmeshed in the day-to-day stories or week-to-week stories they're telling.
Yeah, sure.
This is a perfect thing because it exists completely outside the normal WWE continuity.
Yeah.
Where you can have a feud with Stone Cold. It's high profile enough with the marquee names involved, potentially main event of night 1 if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And it checks off a huge major dream match. If Stone Cold thinks he's in good enough shape to put on a performance that he thinks is worthy of doing it, you know, and we know Punk can still wrestle. By all means, I don't know if I necessarily prefer that over Rollins Punk, because I feel like we're still going to get that at some point, whether it happens at Mania or somewhere down the line. But it just depends on how WWE wants to approach things.
So
at this juncture,
I guess my sort of the ideal situation for me to give a shit about this really is the build, because you know we've talked often, especially recently, you know when we talk about
this, Steve.
Yeah,
Stone Cold could put up his King of Attitude title.
Championship.
I know it's not a physical belt, but it's on all of his Pro Wrestling Tees merch.
Yeah, he's the King of Attitude.
He's the King of Attitude.
CM Punk take that title from him?
And if Punk wins, he gets Stone Cold's Pro Wrestling Tee shop.
So that would be the physical manifestation of the King of Attitude. It wouldn't be like a crown or, you know, a scepter, perhaps. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Stone Cold's Pro Wrestling Tee shop.
A scepter with like a broken the skull with the you know the smoking skull stuff.
Yeah, the smoking skull. Yeah,
and like real smoke comes out of it. That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool. Press a button.
So like if the build is cool, well, the build is so much of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, just random. Like what is the justification here for CM Punk? You know, it's like he comes out, he's like, hey, I'm here to challenge a guy who's, you know, the biggest thing 25, 30 years ago. And is still, like, to this day, a legend. Kevin Owens got to find him. I just, look, if there's a cool story behind it, that's kind of what I would prefer, as opposed to Austin never showing up, doing one, you know, movie vignette. And then it's like, hey, book him for 5 shows in between the Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. And I don't know, maybe there'd be some reason. Maybe he would show up in a Legends segment and they would recreate that thing from the thumbnail on this episode. Where they're backstage and they run into each other, and I don't know. I don't know. They could come up with some sort of, you know, justification, you know, if Punk is going to be kind of a heel in this situation anyways. Yeah. I came back and you didn't, even though we all know you could have, and I could whip your ass. And or Austin can be like, I can still whip your ass, Phil.
Yeah.
And then they do it. Do something like that as opposed to what they did last year. Kevin Owens gave everything he had to that. He really did.
But the whole crux of this feud was Kevin Owens is talking trash about Texas.
I know, and he did his damnedest, dude. I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying he did what he could
motivation.
with it.
It's weak motivation for him.
But okay, like the scenario I laid out, I think
Stone Cold doesn't even live in Texas anymore.
I know he lives in Gimmick Street.
He lives in Nevada now. Actually, he has like his
he's in Nevada now.
Yeah,
he changed the 316 Gimmick Street. Okay.
Yeah, he was what it was Marina Del Rey used to live in.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
The broader Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was some cool like justification for it. I just don't know. CM Punk. I mean, if he actually goes out there and is like, I said last week that I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And the biggest money match I could think of, we teased back in 2013 or whenever that was.
A decade ago, yes.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and get it done now. I don't know. Maybe he's going to come back just for big money matches. That's going to be his gimmick, you know?
Could be.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be a distinct difference from AEW, who is wrestling like, chumps every week.
Yeah.
Until it was like, I'm going to wrestle Matt Sydal. What? Why?
And struggle to beat him.
And then I'm going to have a hard time beating him.
Speaking of marquee matchups, let's talk about this one. So Sports Illustrated reported earlier this week that there's two matches in mind, or two feuds in mind for Punk. Of course, obviously, Rollins, Phil. We see that kind of getting set up already. And then Roman Reigns and CM Punk in the latest newsletter. Meltzer has more on that proposed Reigns-Punk feud, saying the following, quote, Sports Illustrated reported after Punk versus Rollins, the direction is Reigns versus Punk. That is the obvious ultimate direction, so clear it's not even being hidden. But for right now, the plan is to take a lot of time before getting there. The feeling right now is that will be gigantic at the time they choose to get there. Whether it results in Heyman leaving Reigns for Punk and Punk going heel and Reigns face, which was the speculation we got, there are multiple different ways to approach it. The key is to peak it timing-wise, although it'll probably work big whatever it happens. But there are risks. One major star who saw the situation said they'd better get there within 6 months because of the injury risk or uncertainty with Punk. Dave continues. The idea of Reigns versus Rhodes and Rollins versus Punk as a Nights of Mania main events is certainly viable, and the former has been the plan for a year. Right now, it appears Reigns versus Punk is a bigger match, but that can also be saved for later, and it makes sense to do both. Of course, then you have the situation where Reigns versus Rhodes the second time. One would think Rhodes would have to win it. Still, there are no big problems to have. These are not big problems to have. Punk also could cool off. But if he is a strong promo and the company is hot, that gives a lot more time leeway. Now, let me ask you this. What is, in your mind, the more marquee match? Is it Punk Reigns, or at this point, right now, is it Cody and Reigns?
It goes back to, it clearly it's Punk Reigns. I mean, when you talk about marquee, the key word there is, or the key idea there is what's hot. What is going to draw the most right now? Or if he's still hot at WrestleMania, it's that. Anything, yeah. I mean, Reigns Punk, that is the more marquee match. The Rhodes stuff to the WWE fan probably means more. I mean, it's like back, and this is actually kind of a bad analogy, but Owens versus Jericho back for the Universal title, and then they turn it to Brock versus Goldberg for the Universal title. The more marquee match clearly was Brock versus Goldberg. Now, I know this is a bit different in that, but there's similarities. The story of Cody Rhodes is a bigger deal in my eyes, and I think in the eyes of people who follow WWE on a week-to-week basis, that's a bigger deal. But the views and social media and the ratings, they don't lie. The numbers don't lie in this situation. Punk Reigns, especially with Punk's history with Paul Heyman, he is going to be the center of intrigue, I think, probably all the way to WrestleMania, to be honest with you. And especially if they book that story correctly, that's the more marquee match. You could, dude. And here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. With enough good storytelling, you could push. And I'm gonna get flack for this. You could push Reigns, Cody another year. Look at how much they're able to get. And granted, not everything Bloodline is great. We see LA Knight feuding with the remnants of the Bloodline right now. But you could push that, or maybe to SummerSlam if they want to make SummerSlam this huge stadium epic thing. I don't know if they've already booked the SummerSlam, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. And you're gonna hate this, and I don't know if I love it either.
Don't mention Cody being Gunther, because yes.
Cody versus Gunther. No. Cody with the Intercontinental Championship. Like, is this going to be a journey for him, or is he just going to be, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for the Royal Rumble. We're just waiting for WrestleMania. Take a sidetrack to Gunther land. Have him beat Gunther for that Intercontinental Championship.
No, you shouldn't be beating Gunther. No.
You want the guy who's eventually going to beat Roman Reigns. That's a pretty big name to beat the Ring General. And then the Ring General can move on to Seth Rollins and beat him. Or whoever has the World Heavyweight Championship.
Gunther can move on to beat Seth Rollins while still being Intercontinental Champion. No, Gunther shouldn't lose. You're right. I don't like that idea. Next.
All right. I kind of love that idea, to be honest with you.
Of course you do. Cody's your favorite person in the universe.
No, but I was talking with Maggie about it last night, and you're gonna appreciate this. Here's a man of contradictions. I would actually probably mark out more for Gunther beating Roman than Cody beating Roman. I probably would, because that would be fucking amazing.
It would be.
And with Cody, it seems like a foregone conclusion. I'm not huge on foregone conclusions.
It does. It seems like whenever Cody faces Roman again, the outcome is right. Nearly a certainty. Yeah.
If Gunther did it, I'd probably go kind of crazy for that shit. I know you're number one Gunther fan. I love Gunther. That would make me number two, and I'm cool with that. I love Gunther. I think he's great. And I think that, like, the Gunther situation now, who's going to beat him? Ilya? The fuck? No, that would, I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense to me. That would take another year for them to build up Ilya on main roster, a place where people actually, and that's if he's going to connect. That's like assuming he's going to connect with the crowd. So why not? If you want to make the Intercontinental Championship a true, top title, then a top guy needs to beat Gunther. It doesn't have to make a younger, like a Carmelo. It doesn't have to make a younger guy. Because all that tells me is that Gunther can get beat. He can't get beat by anybody on main roster, but somebody can just show up from NXT and beat him. I don't like that.
Well, Ilya is just not some guy from NXT, given their history.
Oh, he's a guy just from NXT UK, which is like NXT's NXT. What? No, dude, listen, I know. The match will be phenomenal, right? The match will be great.
Well, then you tell the story of their history.
I'm not into that. That's history is history. I don't like that. That's just me. That's just me talking. I love Ilya. I love Ilya. It'd be the best match. Gunther versus Ilya was like my match of the year. Both of them.
Fantastic.
And that was great stuff. But Gunther's a top guy. He's a top guy. And I think it'd be kind of interesting to have another top guy be the guy to dethrone Gunther, No. So, yeah. No,
how's that coffee?
Oh, man, it's great. I know. Good. Look, man, I'm going to get shit on in the comments. I'm cool with that. That's totally fine.
Well.
I'm good with that.
Well, let's take a breather here, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Shall
absolutely.
we pay some bills?
Oh, I think that'd be a great idea.
Let's do that.
Here we go.
This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp, Steve. Let's be real for a moment if we can.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people usually associate this time of year talking about the holidays with joy and spending time with families, but the holidays, let's be honest, they can be a lot.
Yeah.
For some, they can lead to stress, anxiety, sadness.
That's totally true. And if you're dealing with the seasonal blues during the holidays, therapy can be a bright spot amid all of the stress. Something to look forward to help you feel grounded, and to provide you with tools to manage everything going on.
Yeah, back in my mid-20s, I started dealing with really severe anxiety. It led me to have one particularly forgettable holiday season. And eventually, my anxiety got to the point where I made the realization that if I wanted to live a happy, productive life, that I had to go to therapy. And once I found a therapist I was comfortable talking to, I was able to learn the tools and positive coping skills I needed to better manage my anxiety and got me back on track to living a happier, more productive life.
So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you got to do to get started is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and then you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
So find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
Let's see here. Take a look at our YouTube chat. And Primetime Rambo here with Super Chat says, think we may see Brock versus Punk 2. They seem to have a really good relationship. What do you think about that, Brock versus Punk?
I mean, that's a possibility. If Punk can get a win over Brock there. Mm-hmm. So he lost the first time they faced each other, so that's a possibility.
Yeah. Alex Silva says, I think Heyman joins Punk the Raw after Mania. So I guess the idea would be Cody. So how would you, let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on that? Let's say they do Cody versus Reigns at Mania. They do this. The story's done. It's finished. Next night, big shocking angle. Roman, who has nothing. Heyman joins Punk. I really think Punk needs to be a bad guy. I think that could be a lot of fun.
I think so.
Punk
I think
versus Reigns without the title. Do you think down with that?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that match needs the title at all.
I think it might be more compelling without the title, to be honest with you.
I think
because everything, it's so copy-paste these days. If you wait till Reigns loses the title and he's at his low point from over the past 4 years, and Punk and Heyman team up and take advantage of that, no title on the line, so none of that foregone conclusion business where they're just waiting for Cody. You know?
Exactly.
Juan Villa.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's a member now for 9 months, so he's got a membership baby. Says Reigns versus Cody versus Punk. I don't want a triple threat. I want a triple threat.
No.
I would have wanted Cena Rock Punk back in the day.
Yeah, but I
think that would have been really cool.
Yeah, this isn't what 2013 anymore.
Yeah, right.
All right, you ready to get into this, Steve?
What are we getting into? Oh,
Ric Flair.
Man, can we go back to Punk Daily, please?
We don't have any more Punk news.
Yeah, you're right about that.
We got all the Punk news out of the way. So
hey, power rank for me 5 people real quick, impromptu. Because I like having the pro wrestling conversations where you and I aren't on the same fucking page every goddamn time.
Sure.
5 guys that you are cool with taking the title off Gunther.
Is him just dropping the title potential?
I was about to say vacancy doesn't count, you son of a bitch.
No, all right.
Vacancy.
So probably number 1 on my list would be Sheamus.
Okay, all right.
That's the one title he hasn't won to get the triple.
He's sort of the top guy.
The Grand Slam thing. There's a story built in. Like he's actively said, "I want that title." They put on a hell of a match the first time. Okay. Sheamus was on the verge of beating Gunther. It makes in my mind, it just makes a lot more sense from a storyline perspective for Sheamus to beat Gunther to get the one belt he's never had, as opposed to Cody beating Gunther as kind of like a consolation title because he's not going to beat Roman yet.
I really hope that all 5 of these are going to be you saying why, because it makes more sense than what I want.
Of course.
The thing that I like about Sheamus also is that he's been there, and sometimes you have to fail, as we've seen with Cody. You got to fail first before you succeed. Okay, fair enough. Who's next? I know I put you on the spot, but I'm just trying to not talk about Ric Flair's asinine
here's
tweet.
The thing. We don't have to talk about this if we don't want to. I can strike this from the notes right now. Done.
No. Look, dude, we have a responsibility. Talk about things sometimes we don't want to talk about. It's all good. Yeah. Like somebody yesterday on our Twitter was like, maybe you guys should just stop reviewing AEW. I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, like I think most out of the 10 highest rated matches that I've talked about, at least I think like 8 of them have been AEW matches.
A lot of them been AEW.
Our AEW review yesterday was actually pretty. It was fun. It was kind of glowing. Like, we don't get to pick and choose. If something's shit, we don't get to just stop reviewing it. It doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
Or just give me 3. Doesn't have to be 5.
Right.
It can be 3.
All right.
Ilya was one of them.
Ilya I think would make a lot of sense because how we haven't had like a really huge, impactful call up from NXT in a while.
Yeah.
You know, think back to when Kevin Owens showed up and attacked John Cena and set up that feud.
Yeah.
Given Ilya's history with Gunther, and you'd have to explore that on Raw in detail. I think that could be really interesting stuff. And if you want to make Ilya feel like a huge star right away, you have him step up to Gunther and you start that story.
You know, the one thing that I do like about Ilya, if they did that, is Gunther no-sells everybody. If his music played and Gunther actually, for the first time ever, we saw, like when Bret Hart's music played in the Rumble, and we saw Gunther sell Ilya, like, I thought I got away from this guy because I don't watch NXT anymore. That could be a fun moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those are the primary names that I could see beating Gunther.
And then earlier off camera, you said also you'd like to see Ric Flair beat him. There's our segue for
absolutely not
for Ric Flair news. We're gonna talk Ric Flair news right now. I don't wanna
reluctantly.
So Ric Flair signing to AEW, of course, has faced a good deal of criticism thus far, and those criticisms only intensified following this week's Dynamite and Rampage tapings. After reports surfaced that Flair cut a tasteless promo while filming AEW's Friday show. If I'm not mistaken, it was something like, I'm going to go to the hotel room, women between the ages of... Did he actually...
18 to 28.
18 to 28?
No boyfriends, no husbands.
God, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
That is so, he's so bloaty. He looks like he just washed up to shore. And, like people gather around on the beach. What the hell is that? I think it's Ric Flair. It just washed up from out of the ocean. I don't know.
George Costanza going to pull a golf ball.
Yeah, somebody call a marine biologist.
Exactly. I'm a marine biologist. Anyway,
somebody calls some guys in hazmat. Some guys in hazmat suits shows up and carts them away. Anyways, so he tweeted this out in his weird, like every word is a proper noun tweet.
Yeah.
Woo! He didn't do the woo. That was me. I'm so tired of hearing all this negativity. I don't need to work and I don't need the money. Can't I simply enjoy being by my dear friend at Sting's side for the next few months without so much hatred? I know I'm old, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy life. I've earned the right to do whatever I want, and I'm exactly where I want to be. I appreciate everything at Tony Khan, but I'm more than willing to walk away if I'm embarrassing you and your company. All I can say is, I'm sorry. End tweet. End quote. So I don't know. Stay, go. I don't care, Flair. You know, like I have no desire to see you, but you know, whatever.
I mean, here's the thing: is that if you're going to be on weekly television, you're opening yourself up to criticism.
Like it's not cute. The whole
no, and you can't go around the year 2023 saying that kind of stuff. You can't do that.
No.
I understand that was his thing in the 80s. Times were different in the 80s.
Yeah.
We've moved on from that. You can't be saying that in 2023.
It's off-putting. It's not terribly entertaining.
It's not.
Yeah, especially given his history. Like
yes.
It's not cute. I don't know. I feel like here's the thing also, even if you want to be like, oh, you guys are virtue signaling, whatever, I don't give a shit. From a fan standpoint, I have really enjoyed Sting's run in AEW.
Absolutely.
Kind of flawless, to be honest with you. It's been fucking awesome watching Sting these last few years give every last ounce of what he has to entertain us. And on one hand, he deserves to go out the way he wants to go out.
On
and
his
if that
terms,
means,
absolutely. Yeah.
And if that means with Ric Flair by his side, then cool, whatever. That's one disagreement I would have with that approach. If Sting wants it, cool. From a fan standpoint, Flair doesn't add anything and he kind of detracts from the presentation of Sting. Yep. I mean, the promo the other day seemed super sleepy.
Yeah.
I mean, this should be a Sting Darby thing, you know?
I know. I know. Isn't Darby like climbing Mount Everest right now? Isn't that why he's off TV?
Is he doing that now? That's what he's
I think
doing now?
so.
Oh, it's terrifying.
I think that's why he's off TV. Anyways, no, you're right. This is Sting's retirement tour, and as much as he's given to this business, he should be able to dictate how he goes out of it. And if he wants Flair by his side, as much as I don't really care to see it, this is Sting's retirement, and hopefully Tony Khan and AEW is smart enough in the editing room to cut that line out of his promo on Rampage, because they realize that they shouldn't be airing that kind of stuff on TV in this day and age.
I mean, it just looks, it's just groan worthy,
It is.
It's just, yeah.
And like, it hasn't even aired yet, and the amount of criticism that it's faced, it's only going to intensify if they keep it in and it actually makes broadcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. And there's just like this victim mentality of, I'm so tired of hearing all this negativity. I don't need to work. I've earned the right to do whatever I want. Okay. Have you though? Like does anybody get to do whatever they want? I know a lot of people think that of his age, of his income status. You don't actually get to do whatever you want. It's not how life works. Sorry, dude.
No,
I know you've lived your life that way, but it's not actually worked that way.
No.
Anyways, let's wash our hands of that. Let's talk about TV deals, Larson. Let's talk about the television business. I know you love that.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, man. So following reports earlier this week that the Game, Triple H, Paul Levesque, wasn't in attendance at this week's Raw. Instead, Bruce Pritchard was running the show. PW Insider reported that he and Nick Khan were in Los Angeles trying to lock down a broadcast deal for WWE's flagship show. In the most recent Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer mentioned that one potential suitor for Raw's broadcast rights appears now to be out of the running. Quote, Paul Levesque was not at Raw this week because he and Nick Khan were in Los Angeles trying to finalize a new Raw television deal. They were hoping for $400 million, but analysts believe it'll be closer to $387 million per year.
Oh, man, that $13 million, what a hit.
Well,
$13 million difference.
If it's a 5 year, I think these are usually 5 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years, I would think.
Yeah, 5 times 13. Smart guy. What's that?
That's $65 million.
Yeah, 65. That's nothing. It's not nothing.
Well, I'm not saying it's not nothing compared to the 387 or 400.
I think 65 million or like 65 million is a little bit over what they get for like one Saudi show, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think those are like 50 million. Yeah,
50. Yeah.
My God. So, anyways, continuing on, for most of the negotiation period, the idea was FX as the leader, with Netflix, USA, Warner Brothers Discovery, and Amazon Prime all being talked about. Regarding Warner Brothers Discovery, which would be the game changer in many years if it happened, the WBD version told to many this past week is that Nick Khan went to WBD in October with a pitch and was turned down. There's always a caveat that because of the AEW relationship that a surprise could happen, but it's one of those things where those in WBD have privately said there's nothing to the idea, TBS or TNT. It is the destination for the show to a number of people in recent days. That sentence did not make any sense. I apologize. No. I'm reading this verbatim here. Those in WWE constantly had WBD as a long shot for the reason they believe WBD owned a percentage of AEW, but whatever the destination is, they're said to be close to finalization, and the asking price is believed to be in the $387 million per year range. So interesting. It seems like we might know soon where they're going to land. Out of the names listed here, what would be your preference, Larson, as a viewer, as a consumer of the program? I'm putting you on the spot all sorts of ways.
USA. I mean, it's for the most part. I know they went to TNN for a second.
Yeah, right.
Spike TV.
TV. Yeah.
There was those few years where they were on the networks. By and large, Monday Night Raw and USA Network has been the mainstay. I don't know if they get $387 million from USA Network when SmackDown didn't get that much. Mm-hmm. That would be my personal preference. Because I don't know. Here's another thing. with Netflix and Amazon Prime, it would potentially alter my. I'm saying this selfishly, but it might affect other people as well. Viewing experience that if you're one of the people who DVR the show, so you can fast forward through commercials, that ain't an option when you stream something. If they plug the ads in, you got to sit through those ads.
I don't think I'm trying to think. I don't think I've watched anything live streaming. Like, I know my dad used to watch NFL on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
There's no
I've done
way
that
to.
once. Usually I don't watch. Usually the matchups aren't that great. So unless the Eagles are playing, I don't watch them. But like, I mean, just like for example, this isn't a live situation, but say you're watching it, like especially on a platform like Hulu, where it's one of the newer releases or something that's got a lot of hype or a lot of interest. They shove so many ads in your show. It's like every 6-7 minutes you got four ads.
Can't you pay for like a souped up version with no ads?
I think even that still has ads in it.
Dude, I was watching, so I've been doing a rewatch of Star Trek Discovery Season 1.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah.
And Paramount Plus, they've got 2 tiers, dude. Less ads, more ads.
All the ads.
Yeah. Yeah. All the ads or slightly fewer ads.
Well, even like Netflix, I thought it read where, they're jacking up the monthly subscription fee, but they're still talking about putting ads in shows.
That's fucking nuts to me. That is absolutely insane. Like, I'm paying you money. I want my Star Trek ad-free, assholes.
I know. I know.
Can I get it, please?
So, primarily for that reason, I'd prefer to have Monday Night Raw on cable or network television.
That's a good point.
I can DVR it, especially it is, thankfully Chris Garrix takes wonderful notes for us for Raw.
Chris is a freaking king, man. He's great.
Absolutely. But like on doing Dynamite and SmackDown and Collision, it benefits me to have it on DVR. I can pause it while I'm transcribing promos. I can fast forward past commercials. From a viewing experience and from a work perspective, vastly prefer it to keep it on cable.
Yeah, I think, me too. Yeah. I mean, I generally watch Raw live these days. Sometimes I don't. But you and I don't take the notes for the stuff. But it is nice to be able to fast forward past stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. If there is the thing, though, like not everybody on the West Coast, for example, has access to the East Coast broadcast. So the idea that it would be live regardless for everybody at all times is I think with Amazon would be a good one. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't care. Like, I'd watch it regardless. If it's a minor inconvenience, it's whatever. But yeah, I kind of feel like just keep it the way it is. Let me ask you this. This is kind of an important thing before we dive into more into the questions from the friendos. So the other day, I didn't actually listen to this. The Twitter account Trevor Dame brought it up. The Wrestling Observer, when they were talking
they were arguing about the YouTube DVRing stuff, right? For the overrun.
Oh, was it YouTube DV? Is it they
That's
watched
what
it on YouTube TV?
I didn't listen to it, but I saw that, so I mentioned the YouTube DVR in relation to that conversation.
So evidently, the Wrestling Observer himself, Dave Meltzer, believes that it should be on us to record the following program because apparently Alvarez didn't catch. There was a minor overrun or the very end of it of Dynamite. And so Dave Meltzer, to his Padawan, says you should probably just record the show afterwards. And apparently this was a pretty heated argument between the two because Alvarez was like, why is this on me to have to do this when the DVR, like the cable company or YouTube or whoever it is, should be giving me the entire show, including if there's an overrun. Where do you stand on that, Larson? To put you on the spot again today.
Typically, yes. I give programs one opportunity to do that for me. Here's the thing, because I feel like this is more a situation AEW than anybody else. Like usually Raw, SmackDown, especially SmackDown, they'll cut off a couple minutes early. They're pretty good about, all right, our end time is 11 p.m., for Raw, 10 p.m. for SmackDown. They are done by that.
SmackDown's done always 2 minutes before the hour.
Yeah. And on Raw, if someone's mid-sentence and they have to go off the air, they're going off the air.
They're done. You're gone.
They're done.
You got to watch.
Usually AEW, where if the middle of the show, we're running long, Tony Khan calls up Bob TBS
Yeah.
and said, "Can we have 5 more minutes?" And it seems like they were willing to give it to him.
You got it, pal.
So when it's happening live, I don't think the cable company can adjust for that live while it's happening. Maybe on if that's the East Coast feed and they can't on the West Coast feed, because that happened on Dynamite this week where they took that into account. So at least through Xfinity, you don't have to record the following program. You can set your DVR to record 5, 10, 30 minutes after the conclusion of the show that you're recording. Yeah. And so I think for NXT for a while when they have the overruns, but it would vary in length, that's what I would do. I would set it for an extra, I think, 20 minutes after.
So I guess in short, because you kind of dodged the question a little bit.
Well, no, it's short. If it's a situation where it happens and I miss something, I'm not going to rely on Ken Xfinity to handle the situation for me on a regular basis, or Bob TBS. I'm going to take matters into my own hands.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. So you side with the Wrestling Observer himself.
I guess so.
Look, you got to do what you got to do, okay? Sometimes we got to do things that we don't like to do. And if, as you say, in the case of Ken Xfinity, Bob TBS, or Joanne YouTube, we gotta take care of ourselves. And if that means recording the following program even, guess what? You gotta do it. Exactly. They're not gonna bend over backwards for you, Padawan Observer.
Listen, here's the thing. Yeah, Padawan Observer. These huge media corporations, you think they care about these overruns?
Corporations.
You think these media corporations care about these overruns, whether you watch them or not? Absolutely not. If you care to watch these overruns, you got to take that into your own hands and make sure that you have those overruns available to you. You can't count on these cable companies to do that, to provide you with up-to-date listings and information about the start and end times of these programs.
They care about profit. They don't care about those other guys. That was my chair. I didn't fart.
If they didn't care about profits, guess what? There would be ads all over every streaming platform.
Yeah, God, it's too much.
It is too much. All right.
It does allow me a couple minutes here to look at my phone, though. It doesn't bother me that much, but we got a couple
Let's
super
answer
chats
a few questions here. Oh, you got super chats. Go ahead.
We got some super chats. Well, it's diving into questions here. Dude, we haven't even done this yet, though. Hold on a second. Hold the phone. Usually we do this around our ad breaks.
Oh, all right, yeah. Get this in quick.
So, you got somewhere to be? You got a heart out?
Well, I got family in town.
Okay. No, I know. I just you were acting kind of antsy, like, we got to get this.
I
know.
Quick, like sitting out there and my dog barking at him.
Is your brother just sitting out there and your dog's barking at him?
Yeah.
You should bring him in. I want to see Brother Larson.
We're with the show. Let's get the show done first.
we're at 198,732 subs, which is, I don't know what the number is. 891.
It's like 150 something last I checked.
891 minus, what did I just say? 732. We're
at 154. No, 159 now.
We were under 150 yesterday, so we've lost some subs. So that's all the more reason now that we've got how many people watching? This is sort of an impromptu live stream.
641 people watching. We only got 139 likes. Please, but I know sidetracking the conversation.
Hit the like button. I don't care about that. I want the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and the notify bell, because we're trying to reach that palindrome number of 198,891. And if we do that, we're going to do a 12-hour live stream. So hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us on the Twitch, head over to the YouTube, use your Google account to hit the subscribe button. If you're in the audio realm, hey, I know you're listening to this on a smartphone. Hey, smart guy, why don't you go over to your YouTube app, sign in with your Google account, and hit that subscribe button. It's a free and easy way to help support what we're doing. You'll do a 12-hour stream, and it'll be a lot of fun. So do that. Hit the like button, because that'd be cool, too. I don't want to yell at you guys today because Larson's brother's just burning farts into his couch right now, and his dog is barking at him. And we gotta make sure that Brother Larson is getting that hospitable treatment that I know Prime Larson wants to give him.
Exactly. Let's get these super chats today. Alex Silva, we got that one. Did we get this one from Juan? Reigns versus Cody versus Punk? Yes, we did. with the membership. Thank you. Alex Silva says, you think the Bloodline cost Cody the Rumble? No, Cody's winning the Rumble.
Cody's, I think, done with the Rumble, but I'd love to see Gunther cost him the Rumble, and then Cody goes on to beat Gunther.
No, thank you. Primetime Rambo says the only match that seems like a hard no in WWE is Punk versus AJ. I don't think AJ will do it.
Really?
AJ's a professional. AJ's a professional.
Has AJ
I don't think they're fans. I don't think they're fans of each other, but I think AJ's a professional.
What am I missing? Did I know about that? Punk and AJ, they have heat?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's still, but they had some
A little back and forth?
back and forth, I believe.
Okay, all right. I think I kind of remember that. New channel club member Paul Latiero. Thank you very much for your membership. Appreciate it. Paul gets access to our bonus episodes, question threads, and, of course, the big monthly predictions challenges. You can get that by clicking join. It's the Friendo Club setup. Everybody, including Seth Rollins, has access to it. $5 a month. Click join on YouTube or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson. AJ Allegiant here says, with the super chat, says he's going to betray Sting again. Ban him. Yeah, I agree with that. Maggie's been a member now for 10 months. Says, bro, I cancel every service I can't pay to get no ads. F that. Maggie, I would do that with Paramount Plus, but that's where they got all the new Star Trek, man.
I know.
So I can't do that.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Anyway,
Something
this is actually
to pay for.
This is crazy. East Side here. This is crazy. I don't know what the facial hair status is on Brother Larson, but he claims Brother Larson has a full head of hair with no beard.
I'll neither confirm or deny that.
No comment. Listen to you. You got the NDA on your brother. All right, man. Let's go ahead and answer some questions.
We can answer a handful of these questions. Andre Zimpel says, was there ever a time you guys felt like you complete the calamity that is a meat mountain from Arby's? We've had that before. We've had a meat mountain.
We've had a meat mountain. Yeah, I think I ate it with like a fork, though, because you can't eat that like a normal sandwich.
Yeah, you have to unhinge your jaw to eat that.
Yeah.
Jack Napier says, what is a kayfabe reason the AEW broadcast is able to be hacked by the devil? Did you see Adam Cole had that button in his pocket?
He's got a little switch.
He's got a little clicker.
Yeah, he's got
like the old TVs.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's a trope in pro wrestling. I like that trope. I like when people can remember when that dude like hacked like some TV station. He was like acting like he was Max Headroom. Remember that?
Yeah, that was funny.
That was weird.
There's a typo here, but it makes me laugh. Mr. Sinister here says, with the Rumble around the corner, what surprise entrees would you like to see, and what stare downs would get you hyped?
You know what what entrees?
Like some beef Wellington, maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, some beef Wellington.
I think there's a wrestler named Beef Wellington too.
I'm less of a fan of the entree, more of a fan of like a platter entering. You know, like
with a variety of stuff,
like a seafood platter.
Cheese. Yeah, a seafood platter.
Same like the seafood platter enters the Rumble.
Some crab legs. Maybe some fried calamari.
Yeah, the entree is tired. The platter is wired.
Yeah, the seafood.
The seafood platter. Get that in the Rumble. Oh, there we go. Maggie says the footlong cookie sandwich.
There we go.
The footlong chocolate
That's our next
chip
food
cookie.
video, is it? The footlong cookie from Subway, huh?
Oh, hell yeah, it is.
Oh, my God.
The Metal Nerve says, what about the deviled eggs? Patty Swan says, sushi roll will win from
Oh, there you go.
entree
Remember the Glutton Bowl years ago where they had like 12 feet of sushi you had to eat?
Yeah.
One of the challenges?
Yeah.
That's it.
Sack of hot dogs comes in at number 30 and wins the entire thing.
Blake Whitehouse here says, what would be the worst day of the week for Raw to move to for you guys? Weekends. Like they moved it to Saturdays. That'd be brutal.
That'd be weird because like they do pay-per-views on Saturdays.
So I'm saying it'd be brutal.
How about both?
Imagine a weekend of a SmackDown on Friday, Collision and Raw on Saturday, and a pay-per-view on Sunday.
That'd be miserable. Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all. No, man, keep it on Mondays. Who cares about football?
Yeah, it's gotta be Mondays. Come on,
dude. Is it just
it's
like
SmackDown on Friday?
Why wouldn't a? Oh God, because they've got basketball. Yeah, boy, that Collision spot.
Terrible.
That's a worse spot than Rampage, isn't it? I didn't think it was gonna be. That's a worse spot than Rampage.
It absolutely is.
There need to be more days of the week. I was gonna say move that to Thursdays, but they need to get off WBD. They just moved to go to a different channel.
Yep. Yep.
Let's see here. Blind Mask says, I was watching old WWE clips, and I was wondering, what's one of the greatest calls from commentators you guys have ever heard in a wrestling event?
Oh, it's when Mick Foley gets thrown off Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, you could top that.
You know, I liked when Morrow did the NXT, the big shows, not the TV.
Well.
But, you know, yeah. Yeah, not the big show. But I like some, Mamma Mia,
Yeah.
I like that stuff.
Yeah.
The best, though, was when Heenan spoiled Hogan's heel turn.
Oh, yeah. Whose side is he on?
What are you talking about? He's the biggest baby face in history.
I know.
Oh,
in the history of wrestling. Oh, he's about to turn heel, ain't he? Yep.
John Hosey, former Big Blue Predictions champion, says, do you think the quality of wrestling this year is the highest it's ever been across all companies?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know how you can make the argument otherwise, honestly. There's something for everybody these days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, by and large, all really good.
John. His name is John in Alistair voice. So John says, I feel like some very underutilized talents are Tyler Bate and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
I agree with that. He says, how would you book them as singles or in a tag team? Cedric adopts a British accent and they form the new Mustache Mountain.
That's good.
That's what they do.
That's good.
I would love to see Tyler Bate reform with Pete Dunne. You bring Trent Sevenbag, British Strong Style. Boom.
Yeah.
Do that shit. That would be awesome.
I know Trent's doing the interviews at Ray's. I get it.
Right,
it's
yeah.
Probably fun work.
Glass. Yeah.
Get him back out there. Reform British Strong Style.
My favorite interview we did at Glass was there's a dude, he puts a microphone in front of his face, like, what do you like, house or garage or whatever it is? I don't know what the different types of music. And he's like, oh, shout out Tyler Bate. That's right, shout out Tyler Bate. Now, what music do you like? He seemed annoyed that the guy brought up Tyler Bate.
I know. My favorite was when he was interviewing the people that were eating like a hamburger.
Mighty tasty, is it? Can I have a bite? What entree do you want to see win the Rumble?
There we go. Hamburger.
Hamburger. Oh, man. Here we go. East Side here says, what do you think has been the best WWE Premium Live Event, NXT Premium Live Event, AEW Pay-Per-View 2023? I'm going to push on that one, East Side Reviews, because we're going to do a year-end best-of video, I think, probably.
Talk about all that, yeah.
We'll do a 2023 wrap-up or some shit.
We will. Our favorite matches and shows and
Mitch.
Our personal wrestlers of the year and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Not to be confused with the Friendo Awards. That's where the Friendos choose all those categories. Best show, best match, best wrestler, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Let's see here. Jonathan Vieira says, do you guys think part of the reason John Cena was never turned heel is because he would destroy careers of his face opponent simply using a mic? No, it's because he was a big Make-A-Wish guy.
Mm-hmm. And he sold a ton of merch and made the company a ton of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Justin Sider says, Austin 316 as I just whipped your ass. What is the quote for Friendo 24/7?
Just be cool. Friendo 24/7 says to just be cool. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Yeah, be nice. Anyways, Zagan. We got a SmackDown preview here. And then you can go, save Brother Larson from Dog.
From
Larson.
Ferocious Dog, yes.
That little baby dog. I love her so much. SmackDown preview here. Yeah, we'll bring in Triple H for this one.
All right.
And he's probably busy today, but here we go.
Yeah.
I'm very busy today. This is the game, Triple H.
Good.
How can I?
Good. Let's get through this quickly, please. I'm doing
well, I've
great,
got
Triple H. How are
time.
you?
I'm just very busy, but I've got plenty of time. We can go a good half hour talking about
No,
today's SmackDown.
30 seconds at most, please. I got stuff I got to get done. I got family in town, so.
Oh, Brother Larson's in town.
Yeah, how'd you know?
It'd be great if he had no facial hair and had a big head of hair.
What can we expect from SmackDown tonight?
Randy Orton's heading to SmackDown following Nick Aldis's invitation. He's totally going to fight Roman Reigns. Randy has a good chance of beating him because he's so huge now. He's all jacked.
Yeah, he is massive.
But here's the problem. He's only one guy. The bloodline, they've got a bunch of guys, and that's going to be the thing. And I've already booked that match and how it's going to finish. Bloodline interference. They all get a bunch of RKOs, but it doesn't matter. Spear, Superman punch, spear, Superman punch. You know how it goes. Copy, paste.
What else can we expect?
Wow, somebody's in a big hurry.
I made that perfectly clear when we started, didn't I?
Oh my! Wow, you're a little bit testy today on a Friday.
It's not feeling like a Friday right now.
Oh no! United States Champion Logan Paul comes to SmackDown. You know he retired from boxing, so he can do wrestling.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I felt your laugh sounds exactly like Steve.
It doesn't sound anything like him.
Sounds
exactly like Paul Levesque. Ha ha ha. See, that's my laugh. That's what it sounds like. Anyways, Logan Paul, great guy. He's going to be U.S. champion, and he's coming to SmackDown. He is U.S. champion. And we're going to find out who's gonna fight him next.
All right. What's this lot? There's one more thing here. What's that?
Kevin Owens is in action against Grayson Waller. Kevin Owens not huge on the CM Punk thing. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you something. Kevin Owens not huge on the Punk thing. He's like, you see him in his car the other day? It's like when somebody asked him about CM Punk, it was like they farted on a sandwich.
Yeah, it seemed that way, didn't it?
It was like somebody just farted all over my sandwich writers. It's like a gassy, nasty sandwich. You know,
all right, well, thanks for your time, Triple H.
Fart sandwich comes in number one in the Rumble. How about that?
That's great. Let's make that happen. I want to keep. I know you're busy. I don't want to take any more of your time. Have a good one, Triple H. Goodbye.
No, it doesn't work that way. I saw what you try to do. You try to play me off. You try to shuffle me off the stage, but the Triple H.
You don't think it works that way? Goodbye, Triple H.
The game does. No, don't swerve me, You can't. No, God. I'm all alone. Baby, come back. Baby, I'm a fool for my time. Ah, hell, I'm just by myself now? Oh, man. All right. Well, now you're back.
He just kept going on and on. I made it clear. I gotta go.
Has it occurred to you, man, that maybe he enjoys your company? Maybe he likes to get away for a second?
Listen, I just literally just said I made it clear to him that I need to go, and here you are trying to justify things.
Could you imagine the grind that this poor guy's on? And
all right, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you all on Monday.
Respite,
so I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.
Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today.